What's up, Rockstars? How's it going? Today I have the pleasure of talking about my top 10 games being delivered in 2021. This is a top 10 list. It's in order. It is my list. And if you're curious about what I have at the number one, it will surprise you. It's not something I don't think that you'll be able to guess. But if you do, I'll be impressed. So comment down below about what you think my number one will be, and then let's see if you were right. But let's get started. Now, as always, I'd like to start out with a quick shout out to my YouTube members and patrons. They have been incredible this year. I have been blessed with a lot of support from you guys so that I can stay independent and not rely on any of these game companies so they cannot sway me in my top 10 list or anything like that, because I don't take money from any of them. Instead, it is funded through the community itself, and that's a wonderful thing. If you appreciate that independence and can give, there are links down below to both of those. If not, though, that's okay too. Let's go ahead and get started with the video. Now, I'm excited to talk to you guys about this because I'm actually going to start with a little tease on what I think might be in my top 10 for 2022 or whatever they decide. This campaign has not been out yet, but I do have something exclusive to show you guys to get your idea, your excitement kind of pumped to perhaps my level. So as you guys may know, I have shown off Harakiri by Synergic Games a little bit before in a previous video, but this is really going to dive into something very, very cool that I saw that I can't wait to share with you guys. So when I first saw this box art, I'm like, I need to know more about this game. Like, look at that thing, looks freaking sweet. I would pick that out of a swath of games at any game store, guaranteed. That's freaking awesome. And you know what? It gets cooler. So if you're ready to see a very cool miniature, render of a miniature, then I'm excited to show you this guy. Obviously, everything about this is always, work in progress as they continue to make the game finalize, and so it's all subject to change, but that looks freaking cool. Now, obviously, they're going to have to work with some kind of clear post, which they've told me that they'll be doing, but needless to say, giant floating head dude is being controlled by other demons. So there's like demons control. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm interested. So that is probably going to be on my video next year, but I guess we'll have to see there. If you remember that I posted this, because I might not even remember that, let's comment a year from now. We'll meet up in that video and we'll see if this actually makes it to my top 10 list for next year. Now, before I get into the very, very top 10, I do also have a runner-up. And that runner-up would be Bloodborne. Now, why is Bloodborne not in my top 10? And the reason is because it doesn't involve any dice. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean a bad game. In fact, you're going to see in this list that I'm not all about dice all the time. However, it does make me uncertain from come on whether or not I'll actually like the gameplay. And to be honest, it's been so long since I covered this, I don't remember all of the specifics about it either. And so I want to make sure that this works for my group. I love the theme. I love the IP. Loved the video game. Was a lot of fun, except for that last boss fight, which was that dude was a jerk. He moved too fast, and he had a huge range with his weapon. It was unfair, and there were 2 stages to it, and that was unfair. But you know what? That's what these games are all about, is being unfair. And I'm excited to explore the world of Bloodborne once again in the board game. So that's exciting. So I am excited about this game. I'm looking forward to it, but I do have a few reservations on whether or not it'll be a hit with my group. And at the end of the day, if I like the game but my group doesn't, it doesn't get played. And so I need to back things that my group likes, not just what I like. And here I kind of made a gamble on just what I like. So a little cautious, and that's why I didn't quite make it. Otherwise, it would be actually up there because I'm pumped for it. I love the world and the theme and the style. I think it all looks cool. And I can't wait to get it. Okay, now moving on. This is now number 10. So we're starting bottom to top. Okay, runner up, number 10 on my top 10 coming out is Teneris Adventures. I am excited about Teneris Adventures. There is a lot of cool stuff going on. And I mean a lot. There's freaking great beholder-like enemies. There's a lot of renewed miniatures. This is one of the few companies that actually reached out to me after my review and bullet point per bullet point wanted to go over any negative or any concern or feedback I had and tried to see, okay, how can we make it better? And I was thoroughly impressed with that. It is hard to receive feedback. I know, I get it all the time too. And they had a great time doing it. One of them was the miniatures, and they listened to it in spades, and it looks like it's going to be some great minis, some cool designs. It's a fun game. It's everything I wanted was like, the campaign of the first one was already so good, and it just made me want like more, like this and this would be cool and this would be cool. And they're doing that. Literally everything I complained about, they're touching. So I'm really excited to dive into this and explore the world of Tenaris Adventures. I know my buddy's excited to play it too. We're gonna have a great time with it, I'm sure. And obviously, I'll review it and let you know. Maybe we're wrong. I guess we'll see. But I'm pumped for it. So definitely my number 10 made it to the list. I'm excited to dive into this world again. Next up is Darkest Dungeon. Now this is twofold. I like the IP, just like Bloodborne, right? I like the IP. I like the theme. Except, hey, guess what? Dice. So obviously excited there as well. Okay, so theme got me. I love grimdark. I love dark fantasy. I love hard games and stuff like that. Like I'm all for it. When I actually went to do the details video, I was trying to contain my excitement. So I had read the rule book without even the details video in mind, and I was like, I need to talk about this game because a lot of people talk about the theme and a lot of people talk about mythic games. And you know what? Discard all that. The game itself looks like a lot of fun to me. I was impressed with all the dots and how you can do that. I really liked the uniqueness they added to it to where it's Darkest Dungeon, but it's not just where like, well, you may as well play the video game, right? Because the video game's a solo experience, and this is with people around you. And how do you make great experiences with people around you? You make interesting situations for them to work out, so they have to talk through it and make decisions and just kind of interact with each other. And when I saw the types of splits were like, well, 2 people start here and 2 people start here, and these people are constantly getting damaged right off the bat, but these people have enemies here and there are enemies between them, and so these people need to get over there. So do you save them, or do you work on the enemies there and leave them to deal with that, or do you have to like all of that kind of decision making? The fact that that's possible is exciting. The fact that I can be in the world of Darkest Dungeon and the theme and the IP and still have the position and stuff like that matter, but then also have these great board gaming moments that are devoid of requiring an IP to sell it, that it's just a good game. I'm sold. I love buffs and debuffs, and I think so far I think they're handling it well. I know they're still working on it and looking to see if there's a better way to do it. If there is, I'm sure they'll find it, but I'm excited for it either way. It looks like just a darn fun game with some great moments I can have with friends and family. And at the end of the day, that's what I want. Oh, and cool minis, I guess, too, right? So there's that. Okay, next up. So that was 10. That was 9. Now at number 8 is Oko Chronicles Beyond the Gates of Jigoku. I awarded Oko Chronicles, which is right there. My like hidden gem, I think, of 2 years ago, perhaps it was. Definitely the indie gamer or indie game developer that I think deserved a lot more credit. It is one of my favorite dungeon crawl games. It plays unique. It has beautiful art. All the components are good. The miniatures are fantastic. The card stock is good. The actual cards itself are good. The cardboard's good. It's all good. It's just a well-made game. The only weird part is the tutorial. It's definitely a tutorial to teach, not to play if you know how to play it, and then you play the tutorial. Which we found out the second time we played it. You can just, it's a no-brainer, right? But it's there to teach. The rest of the game, though, solid. I really like it. So cool theme, cool minis, great quality stuff. Definitely deserves more, and I'm excited to dive in once again with this new expansion. I think the changing dungeon feature sounds cool. All the miniatures look great, of course. All the art looks good. I'm just excited for it. So definitely something I'm looking forward to there. I'll be happy to have that in my collection as well, though it looks like it's going to take up more than a Calyx space now, which is unfortunate because it all fit right in there and I liked that. It goes all the way deep. I have all the expansions. Okay, so moving on from that. So that was number 10. That was number 9. That was number 8. Number 7, Storm Thunder. This is Errors of the Ruin. I can't remember if I think this is the first one, right? Or the first one's a Pharaoh's Wrath Pledge, and then you get like the other ones as well. Don't let this $4.99 fool you. I actually ended up doing wave 1 and then I'll look at wave 2 in between. I couldn't afford it all up front, but I fully support anybody who feels that they can, and I think that's perfectly fine as well. This game is a ton of fun. I played this all the way through multiple times, actually, because again, when I reviewed it, I wanted to show, like, you can take this branch and you can choose this and you can choose to let this person live or die. And if you do, you don't even know, but it'll affect something in the future. And all this time you're looking at this and it tells you to update this. And you're like, what is that? Oh, that's why it's telling you to do that, because this huge event happened. If I could summarize Storm Thunder in one word, it would be if BioWare, back when they were good, made a board game instead of a video game. It's probably closest to Madara than anything when it comes to the characters having personality. This is not a game where you are the character. Instead, you are playing this character. This character has an opinion and has a voice and a personality, and they may be making jokes with the other ones, or they may be annoying the other ones. Or I had a character that literally said, we're not doing that quest. I refuse to do that. That is not okay. And if I didn't have that character, then the other characters would be like, yeah, let's do it. That sounds awesome. There's a character that reminds me of Harley Quinn. They have a ton of personality. And so it kind of reminds me of that BioWare. And it's kind of like, I remember playing Mass Effect 1. And there was this hysterical, hello. There was this hysterical guy and you could just punch him. You could just knock him out, like, shut up. And they have that kind of stuff in here and I love it. I think that's fantastic. I am trying to record. Sorry, my cat's being loud. Anyway, I'm super excited about Storm Thunder. Before I announce the next one, I want to let my cat out. Okay, that's one cat out. This one's just chilling, so he's quiet. He'll be fine. Hopefully. Okay, so anyway, super excited about Storm Thunder. It's a ton of fun. I know the gameplay is really good too. I really like the dice system there, the magic system, and the card play especially, I think is very cool, especially where you can build up power and do these epic moves. I love the fact that my healer could be a huge damage dealer if I want her to be. I think that's awesome as well. Just some really good stuff going on there, and I know my whole group liked it. In fact, I gifted this to a patron as a thank you for, just their support and everything that they do, and actually as a surprise birthday gift, and he played it a ton, and I mean a ton. He thoroughly enjoyed the prototype, and if the prototype is that good to where everybody that's played it has loved it, backing it's a no-brainer. Being excited about it is a no-brainer, especially because the prototype ends at a very almost cataclysmic moment. It's like this huge moment that's like, oh crap, this is going down. And then it's like, now I can't play it. So I'm excited to continue the story as well. Okay, so now we are moving on to the top 5. We are getting close. For number 5, I have Conan the Conqueror, the Adventure Mode expansion. Now it says Adventure Mode expansion, but really it's adding more of what I love as well as like this co-op and solo experience and stuff like that. Conan is my favorite game. It's you see it probably all the time in my videos right there, and I have played every single retail scenario, a lot of them more than once, and in fact I'm now working through all of the King Pledge stretch goal stuff because I couldn't wait for all this, and anything they weren't playing here I actually went and paid scalper prices for it or secondhand prices for it or whatever it was. I even called a retail place in Washington and had them ship it to me because they had a few of the expansions that I was looking for so that I can have everything. Because if there's a game that I have no problem spending money on a game I know I love, much easier than this Kickstarter that looks exciting, but I don't know if I'll like it, right? I talked about Bloodborne at the beginning. I hope I like it. I really do, because I love what it's all about. But I might not. Conan is a surefire. I know if I buy it, I'll play it, and I'll love it. So why not? The river system, the gym system in there is exquisite. It is fantastic. I recently played a game session with my patrons. It's one of the things I do to kind of give back. It's a lot of fun to play games with awesome, cool people like my patrons. So I'm very excited to do that. So I went and played it actually through Vorpal Board, and it was like half an hour into the game session. So we've been playing for a while, and one of them just says, wait, so the gyms are kind of your health. And I thought that was so cool because I love waiting for people to figure that out, right? So you have these gym systems that are paying for actions and paying for defense, but then when you get wounded, you lose those. So it signifies that you can do less now, right? You can't do all those actions. You're getting worn out. You're getting tired. You're getting hurt. But there is no just health, right? Instead, you just have these gyms that are your actions. but eventually you run out of actions and you can't do anything and you're dead. And I just think that's such a cool idea. And then the river system with the tile movement and all that, it is great. It's versatile. It has some of the best moments ever. From all the experience that I've played, it seems very well balanced as long as you know what you're doing on both sides. It is a tight game. It is well done, well executed, good production quality. Love everything about it. Fantastic game. Love it to death. So definitely excited for more. Okay, moving on. This is now my number 4. We are close. Number 4 is actually Wolfenstein the board game. I loved this game. I talked about one of the few things where I actually enjoyed playing the prototype afterwards. This was this as well. In fact, when I set up this game, it was one of 2 games that did this. DEI, and then this. And DEI is a very good game, but not quite making the list here. And that's only just because I didn't want 2 runner-ups. Otherwise, DEI would be on here too, because it's a lot of fun. But anyway, for Wolfenstein, again, I go to set it up to review, and my wife gets sad because I come out with my camera, and I'd already set it all up, and she thought we were going to play. It is a fantastic game. I view it as kind of Zombicide++. So, Zombicide is not a great game. I'm not going to suggest it's a great game mechanically or through balance or even production quality, or it has problems with too many models on the board and all this kind of stuff, right? But it is darn fun. And when it comes down to it, that's why I'm playing a game. I'm not playing a puzzle. I'm playing a game, and a game is for fun. That's why we play games. Games are fun. That's why kids play games, because they're having fun. So if I'm not having fun, I'm not playing that game. Zombicide is a ton of fun. But you know what? Wolfenstein is like Zombicide, but better. I would play Wolfenstein over Zombicide almost any given moment. The ammo system in particular is fantastic. Now I know that it is made by Archon Studio. And I know. In the past, they've done stuff. That doesn't change this product. I think Come can be a very evil company, and yet I'm so excited for Bloodborne. In fact, I have a Come On is Evil video. Hate the company, love their product. I don't hate a great product just because the company's stupid. Now, if the company's stupid, it messes up the product, and that's something different. But Wolfenstein is a seriously great game, and I love it. I love playing it. It's just a lot of fun, and there's a lot of joy to be had. Again, the ammo system and using that with your weapons and your equipment and your cards, and it fits the IP very well, and it's just a lot of fun. Great minis, good production quality, even in the prototype. It's very well developed. It's almost all there. Like I said, this prototype was pretty much the game. Now I'm getting the finalized version because it'll have better storage and because I know I like the game. I want to support it. But suffice it to say, super excited about it. Again, love the theme, love the production quality, love the gameplay. I know I like it. I know my family likes it. I know my friends like it. What's not to love? Really excited about Wolfenstein the board game. Definitely rockets Archon Studio to a company where I'm actually highly interested in what they're going to do next. Because if they can do this, then they are now getting really serious in that game development, and I'm excited to see what happens. Okay, moving on to the top 3. Top 3 are going to be good, especially because I can guarantee you. Well, okay, I can't guarantee you, but I'll be surprised if you guessed what my number 1 is. I really will. In fact, by the time I hit the number 1 and 2, you're going to be like, okay, what went above this. So excited to share that. Before I do that though, I want to give a huge shout out to my sponsor of the video, which is INTOTHEAM. Now, I'm going to leave a timestamp down below. If you hate advertisements and you hate supporting content creators or companies that help support them, then by all means skip it. That's fine. I get it. Maybe you're, you got to go and you don't have time. That's fine. But for those of you staying, I do want to tell you that, first of all, I think it's important to give some love to those that are giving love to the channel, right? And so, with that, just like I thank my patrons, I really thank INTOTHEAM for just supporting this channel and really believing in what I do, and showing you guys a lot of love and attention as well through some nice discounts and just some quality content and good components. So I am wearing one of my new favorite shirts. This is a shirt by them. What's cool about this one, and I'll show it off, but is that it has a back as well. I think that's awesome. As far as I know, it's the first one I've gotten from them that have a back, and I think it's really good. It's actually my wife's favorite as well. As you can see, though, they have some new ones here. I've worn all of these shirts I'm showing off. I'm not going to model them for you this time. You guys know I love the sleeves, right? It's nice and tight. I love how soft it is. I love how the print isn't like super itchy and rigid and scratchy and all that kind of stuff, and they survive washes very well. I always wash them and make sure that they look good on that as well. The Midnight Trip one, funny name, very cool design. Love the colors. The diamonds in particular, I think, are my favorite there. And as you can see, these suckers are new and they're on sale. $17. Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, that sounds great for a really like high quality shirt. This one, Crash Landing Tee, was my kid's favorite. I like it as well. It's good. It's got some good color there. The Trippy Lion, again, I love these names. This one is just fun. It actually reminded me of like Reading Rainbow stuff, but it's just this like crazy lion in space with like mushrooms coming out of rainbows and, you know, who knows what's going on there. And then the Mermaid Shore with Aloha from California in the back, which I also really appreciate. And, then just, you know, a little bit here. And the color I really like as well. Now, one thing I wanted to point out as well, again, there is a link down below and you can get some good discounts. You can also, they do a, shirt of the month where you just pay like very little and you get a shirt every single month. That's again super high quality at a great price, and you get the first month free as well. So if you want to support the channel, you want to get some good stuff out of it anyway and save money, then again, there is that link down below. And I just wanted to point out, by the way, I'm going to skip all this. I say this all the time. It's good stuff, right? I get nothing out of peddling junk to you guys. This is great stuff. Look at some of the prices on this crap. $12 for that great tee. That's a fantastic t-shirt. I have it. I love it. I wear it very often. $12 is a steal. And the fact that then you would save on top of that with a link, I'm actually a little jealous. Great prices on this stuff. Like seriously, good stuff. So they have a lot of sales going on. You can save more with the link below. That's all I'm going to say about it. Just show them some love because they show this channel some love. So let's support those that support us. Okay, moving on. Top 3. Number 3 is Oathsworn Into the Deepwood. This is a big deal. This is pretty much the game that was, I feel like, meant for this channel. You know, I mean, it has high quality stuff made by competent people from a company that seems to have their head on straight, that offer a fair price. And is a fun game. That's what this channel is all about. Shadowborn Games made a big deal about making it where like this is to establish themselves in the industry, and so they want a great product at a great price. That sounds consumer friendly to me. I love it. So, and it's a really fun game. I've played it. I've play tested it a lot. I've played this more than any other prototype ever, mainly because I played it even before there was a prototype. And the feedback they've been taking and the efforts they've been making to make it even better is great. I love the new cooldown system they have. I think that's great. It does good card combo play that it didn't even have when I reviewed it. So it just gets better and better, and looks like really good stuff. So again, super excited about Oathsworn. And again, everybody that's played it has loved it. So when I played it with my patrons, which I've done, again, love doing that with them. They all loved it. And then, of course, there's the, my friends and family who also really like it. Grim Dark Fantasy theme too. Low Fantasy as well, which is super great. So excited about that. Okay, number 2. We're getting to the big tippy top now. Number 2 is Aeon Trespass Odyssey. This was actually my personal favorite when it came to gameplay of these campaign games. I really, really like the hard co-op system. It's a great way. One of the things that to me make a great game is investing my time in it. In other words, I don't want to play a game that's fun for 5 minutes max while I play my turn, and then I'm bored to tears while everybody else does their crap, and I walk away and make a sandwich, watch a movie, play another board game that's actually fun all the time, or, do something, I don't know, practice shuffling cards, or twiddling my thumbs, or woodworking, or tying shoelaces, or I don't know, cleaning the house. I don't want to do that. I want to sit down and play a game and enjoy my time from start to finish. And the hard co-op system makes it to where, and this is one of the things I like about Conan, everybody's turn kind of forms one big turn, right? So you're just part of the puzzle. So it's not just, I'm going to do my thing. I did my thing. See you guys. Good luck. Hopefully your rolls are good. Let me know if I need to heal somebody next round. It's not that at all. Instead, you're really planning, okay, you know what, if you do this and lay these tokens down, I have this heavy hitting weapon, but it's not very strong. So I definitely need some of those tokens to, or a heavy hitting one, but it's very inaccurate, right? So I need to really make it accurate. So if you can have those accuracy things, that'll help me out a ton so we can land that hit. That being said, I know that the next card coming up is probably a bad one. So if you could actually prop that and take the hit, that'd be great. So you lay down the tokens, you take the hit because you're the tank and you're in a good position, and then I'll do the attack. So now suddenly I'm involved in something that's 2 turns ahead of me, right? 2 other people have to go before me, but I'm still involved in each one. And what if that other one botches it and they weren't able to lay out on the tokens, or they weren't able to take the hit, or the hit happened, but it wasn't actually the card we anticipated it was, or whatever it is. I'm invested in it, and we're constantly adjusting our strategy, or we're implementing the strategy and making it all work, or reacting to what the enemy's doing. And it just works out really well to where I'm just invested the whole time, and it's a lot of fun too. And I like the whole laying down tokens and buffing up other people's attacks and doing stuff like that. And of course, then he was doing crazy things like laying down labyrinth tiles, and you're in a maze and you're stuck in there and it's landing on you and they're charging you, and then you can mount on top of them and do all this crazy stuff. And the world, the narrative is like crazy cool. Like, it's just a cool world. I cannot wait for you guys to interact with these snails. I know that sounds like a stupid sentence, but on this map, there's these like giant snails, and you can like go to this thing, and it's just like there's shells, and there's these giant snails everywhere. And then you start hearing things, and then I'm not going to tell anymore, but it's some crazy cool stuff. And it's just this random thing, like in the story, it's like I just experienced that. They do a really good job of like alluding to stuff where you'll note like, oh, hey, there's this person here that has this weird thing. And then suddenly you're like, now I have that thing, and now I have to deal with that thing. And now why is this thing happening to me? And what did it mean that he had that? And can we find that guy again? And there's some really cool stuff. They've done a great job with it. I am super excited about this one. All right, so now we're getting towards my number 1, and I am getting out of breath. So I hope you can appreciate how excited I am about this stuff, and I hope you're excited about a lot of stuff too. In fact, I would encourage you to do, before I get to my number 1, I would encourage you to make a top 10 list as well. By all means, share it here. I would love to see what you guys are interested in. But a top 10 list, I have found, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be in order, but really making that cut right at 10 and maybe a runner-up or something like that, or whatever your number might be, helps you focus on what's important. In other words, I'm looking forward to these games. If I do this for Kickstarter, right? What are my top 10 Kickstarters? What are the top 10 games I know that I can pledge next year, right? And then I can just focus on that. So when something cool comes up, like, oh, that looks cool and fancy. Is it my top 10? No. Would I remove one of those games to put it in there? No. Well, then maybe I shouldn't back it. Right? And it may be 10, it may be 15, it may be 2. It depends on your budget, how much time you actually have to play these games or paint these minis or do whatever. But I encourage you to actually make a list like that and update it. There have been times where I get swooned in by the hype and the coolness and the newness and all that. I'm like, that's really cool. That's awesome. And I go to pledge it. And I'm like, okay, would I actually replace and not back this for this? Well, no. Okay, well, why wouldn't I? Well, maybe it's not as good. Well, if it's not as good, do I really need to play it? So often our board games are just whatever the cream of the crop is, right? Why would you play this game that's not quite as good for the game that's fantastic? Like, you're going to play the fantastic one. So keep that in mind. And I think lists are very good. I always encourage them. So with that in mind, my number one, by a landslide, Twisted Fables by Dimension Games. Now, I don't know if you anticipated that. If you guessed it, I would love to know why you thought that would be my number 1. Maybe because you were just thinking and you just remember how much I liked it in my review when I talked about it, and why I backed it video and all that kind of stuff. And then maybe you're like, well, you know what? He said I wouldn't guess it, so I bet it's something that's not like Oathsworn or Alien Trespass or something like that. But I am pumped for the Dimension Games Twisted Fables. It is a fantastic card game. I enjoy playing it a lot. I still think about this game to this day. I love the theory crafting and the deck building and the world that they kind of made. And my kids loved it, and I just had a lot of fun with it. I actually like card games a lot. I love Magic the Gathering casually. I don't hate myself enough to play it like in anything except a casual setting, but I do really like it. It is just cool. I love the epic system. As I still stand by this now. This is my favorite card game right now. It is. And in fact, it's my number 1 anticipated game of 2021. Can't wait for this to deliver. I think it's going to be great. I know it's going to be high quality. They definitely focused on making sure the scope was all there. I am pumped for it. It's just so much fun. I love being able to not only pick a character, but then customize it. One of my favorite things is customizing it and theory crafting it. It's why I like Magic the Gathering. I like deck building. I have almost as much enjoyment, or if not more enjoyment, theory crafting decks than I do actually playing the game, though I like implementing it as well. It's one of the reasons why I like Blood Rage, because I can draft essentially a deck, and I really like that draft. I like being able to pick Red Riding Hood and then having 3 different epics and then having 3 different tiers that I can also go through, or focusing on just getting all the traits and doing all that, or, you know, whether I'm doing Snow White, and then you can do relics on top of that, so you're having to work within this scenario. I like adjusting scenarios mid-game. I like the fact that the 2 versus 2 allows you to combo characters so that you can have multiple characters that now work together, and maybe one pushes them and one's long range. If I have somebody that can do a lot of movement and push people too far away, then I can also play Red Riding Hood and play her ranged and just shoot really far off. There's a ton of stuff I can do, and it's just a lot of fun to play, and it plays quick. It just plays. Love it. Really enjoy this game already, and so I'm so excited to see what it's like in its final form. Can't wait to get it. That's my top 10. I'm done. This was this was an exciting one for me. I really enjoyed making this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. Again, I would love to hear what you thought I was going to be my number 1 and why, whether or not you were right or not, and if this was a top 10. And this is not some stupid plea to get comments, because I'm not one of those YouTubers that ask you to comment and then just don't respond and do stuff like that. You guys know I'm down there in the comments. I honestly want to interact with you guys because I think it's good stuff to do. I highly encourage it, and I like to preach what I say. So here's my top 10. What's yours? I would love to know. Thanks so much, guys, for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Again, links down below to INTOTHEAM. Show them some love because they definitely support this channel and support what I'm all about. And any company that's what I'm all about, I think, is something worthwhile and to make some good stuff too at a good price. So with that, take care. I'll talk to you guys again real soon.